This is Lee with 82 Game and 12 here on Sons of Liberty 75, and I'm back with, let's see, video 12 of my playthrough of Eylau 1807. So there's a shot of the overall battle. The two cubes here that you see, purple cubes, those represent where each army commander is at. Those are my cubes. And you can see the order display also has the army fatigue here and there. And over here we've got the operational charts, the order of battle charts. So I am thoroughly enjoying this system. It is an easy system. It doesn't have a lot of complication to the rule system. There's not a lot of things to work out concerning combat. There may be a few things that need to be ironed out, but as I've said in other videos, anytime you have a new system, then you're going to have things that may need to be ironed out, adjusted, and that's why you have the living rules. And if you're a gamer for any length of time, you understand this. You probably had games that they didn't have a living rules, and they weren't concerned about the players, where they just put out the game and they got your money, and then you were left with trying to figure out everything. Well, that's not so with Sound of Drums. That's why they have a living rules. They're concerned about the player. They want to provide a pleasant experience, and they want to also adjust where maybe an adjustment needs to be made. And so we've seen that with some changes in the rules, and I commend the designer in making changes so that either things become more clear, or just because there was something that might have been missed. And that happens even with a lot of playtesting. I can name off other games, very popular games, systems that have multiple volumes, that even now they put out a new game or a new volume, and there's still updates, errata, so forth and so on. And over the years, even some changes to their rules. And they also have a living rules. And if you're a La Bataille player, how many different rule sets are there? Why not have just one rule set? Make some adjustments. I know that was one of my concerns or issues with the La Bataille was I had the Battle of Arstotzka, and that's what introduced me to the tactical Napoleonics. They had a lot of chrome to it, and the rules needed to be cleaned up. And at the time, this was back in I'd say it was in the 90s, that I didn't really have access to a lot of, help in getting things clarified. I guess I should have contacted the company. I don't think I ever wrote them. If I did, I don't remember it. But there was quite a few things that I struggled with. So don't let a few minor things ruin your experience or detract you from picking up this game. You know, hearing, you know, maybe other videos or a review, or even listen to some of my videos, because I'm not here to criticize this game or the designer in any way. I love the system, and you know, I've got 11 videos of experience with this so far, many hours. And do I still run into situations where I'm not, you know, very sure of what I'm supposed to do? Sure. But I do that with all my games, you know, and some of those have pretty, you know, detailed rules. And you still run into, you know, questions and so forth. And so I'm still working out my understanding. And like I said, I have a hard time sometimes, and it's just my personal, I guess, issue of interpreting. And you know, that's even with a English degree. Even though most, you know, pretty much all of my English classes were literature. So I really have an English literature degree, not an English degree. So I'm not an expert on the English language per se, with grammar and so forth. My experience and background is literature. So okay, that's 7 minutes of yakking like that. So I recommend this game just for people out there that watch my videos. I recommend this game. If you're a Napoleonic player, and especially the tactical aspects, then you need this game. I know there's another game, Eylau game, Winner's Victory, I think, might be, and that would be a good, I guess, a good game to compare. I think, I don't know how close the scale is in that game and this game, and you know, I've just seen a little bit of videos on that, so I really can't say much about that game. I don't want to compare the two or anything, but you know, there's not a lot of Eylau games out there. I know that La Bataille has an Eylau, but it's an older version, I believe. I don't think they've released a newer edition. So go to soundoftdrumsgames.com and check out what they got. Sound of Drums, we develop and publish thrilling historical board games. And then, of course, the dice that I'm using, I purchased with the game, and I'm sure you can still purchase this through the through Sound of Drums. I'm not for sure. Maybe it was just something on the Game Found, but those are pretty cool, I think. And they have that Chesic quality that you can depend on. Rounded corners, they roll smoothly. And you can find out more about Chesics at chesics.com. And Festive Hydrangea Black Polyhedral 7-dice set. That just gives you an example of the dice. I just printed it off so I could have some information there about Chesics. So go check them out. If you know me, I've got tons of Chesic dice, and I actually have 3 sets that I'm giving away, and that'll take place after I finish the videos on the last video, whichever one that is, of this playthrough. I will give out a question. It may be the question may be in the in the video somewhere, or it may be in the description, but I'll give a question and then give, I don't know, about 7 days maybe, and give you information about where to send your answers. And one person, each person has, you know, whoever's going to send in, just send in one. You don't get multiple guesses of something that I've discussed in one of the videos. So, and I'll just give away three of the people that get the right answer. I'll take everybody's name that gets the right answer, throw it in a cup, draw out 3. I may do that as a live video. I've got to work out kinks on the live video stuff. So my last live video ended up no sound. So I'm not a video aficionado. So okay, so the last video I stopped because I was just tired. The video had been going for 3 hours, and the last cube that was drawn is going to be a Russian cube. And so we have, I don't know if you can see in there, there we go. There's 4 blue, 1 red, and 1 green. Now, once there's only 1 color left, the hour ends. Okay, you don't draw all the cubes. And once there's only 2 cubes left, it's over. Okay, even if one of them is a red cube, because we've already drawn 1 red cube. So you're always going to have at least 1 simultaneous fire. So if you're playing some of the shorter scenarios, that doesn't play. You're just going to use all the cubes. But in the grand scenario, or the grand battle, let's see what they call it. The Battle of Eylau on the 8th. So, and there's a lot of good information in this scenario booklet. Notes on the order of battle, historical background, the first, second day, the charge, grand charge after the battle, and then you have all the designer notes, which is really, really neat, and explanations for some of that stuff that you're gonna want to read, and I've read through. So, plus you got a bibliography, so you can find out where some of the information that was used, and where they sought knowledge for making the game and so forth. So, okay, so here we are. We've got, let's see here. We've got things have really heated up. Let's see if I can get a little brighter. There we go. Things have really heated up. If you're wondering about these gray objects, they're dice that are metal, and they're just helping to hold down my plexiglass. So they're not part of the game. They're just to help me keep the glass down. It wants to bubble up. Part of that is because my table has a split in it, has a crease in it, and so it's a little lower than the rest of the table. So just some issues that I have to work through. I need to get some new plexiglass. So we got to take a look here. We got only going to have 2 more activations possible for the Russians. For sure they're going to have 1. This one. And then they've just possibly got 1 more. The French have, you know, they've got 5 in the cup. So, no, is it 5? No, 4 in the cup. So they could have up to all 4. No, they wouldn't be able to do that. They could have possibly 3 of those. Possibly. So they've got to think about, okay, who have we not? Remember, in the last video, I talked about how vital it is that you're not using, you know, attack orders for units that you're not ever going to, you know, for a whole hour, you're not going to do anything with. So we got the 5th Division that hasn't done anything. The 2nd Division, baggy. Magarat, and the Left Wing Cavalry Reserve. Those are 4 divisions that have not done anything, and yet they have attack orders. And so I have to think, who do I want to use? Who's the most vital? Whether it be the 2nd Division or someone else. And if tell you what, the 2nd Division is kind of sitting here. Here's the 2nd Division right here. And so if we take a look at them, they're opposing Legrand. So, and then over here we've got, let's see, we've got Kukov's 5th Division, which hasn't activated. And of course we have Bagrat over there that hasn't done anything either. He's really done quite a bit of fighting earlier on. He's over here in a fight for Serpollen, right here. This village here that's been changing hands or attempting to change hands. And he's got some cavalry that he could activate, or move out of the way where they would pull back, because they're going to get blasted. If you look here, we've got this this artillery piece here, close range, is going to do some damage, and that's a large regiment. That's 13 strength. So that's a lot of troopers there. Hussars, and they're just sitting there ready to get pounced on. I think they need to pull back. So I'm going to use Baggy there. Is who I want to activate. So let's see if this helps or hurts or what it does. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Okay. Let's move this over a little bit so we can get a full picture of what's going on here. All right, let's back up a little. All right. So I'm going to activate Baggy. Okay. He's got 2 units back here. Here's a cavalry unit here, and of course he's got these over here. These are actually out of range. And the rules state that if a unit is out of command range, if they move, they have to move to get back into command range. Okay. So you can't like move your leader, and then they're in command, and then you can move them however you want. Okay. They have to start the activation in command. So they wouldn't be able to charge unless it was say a reaction charge, but they can move out of there, and of course they want to because of this artillery piece here. So let me put that down, get it out of the way, and actually move it like that. This unit is in part of the village, and I think they've only got 1 strength left. No, they've got 2. So I think I want to move them out of there. I don't want to leave them in there to get destroyed, because that removes a command point. So I want to get them out of there, and I think I want to possibly charge some of these units to get them into square, or try to catch them out of square. Now, I've already shown in previous videos that if infantry chooses not to go to square and they're charged, they're going to lose 2 strength points and be forced to retreat. Not too many times so far have they held. So, and as soon as they become active, you know, a unit have to decide if they're within 4 hexes. They have to decide, are they going to go to square, or are they, you know, they're going to wait. And if they wait, they're going to have to roll. And there's the chance of them losing a strength point and still not being in square. So you've got to make some hard decisions on some of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this unit because he's in danger of being destroyed out of there. So I'm going to pull him back here if I can. And so they would be able to do opportunity fire. Okay. Now, because he's in the village, I'm not even going to roll, because I'll tell you why. Okay. When this is not defensive fire, this is opportunity fire, so you don't get that +1 that's now been added to the modifiers, die roll modifiers. Okay, so number 1, we've got snow. Okay, snow is a -1 die roll modifier for fire combat. Okay, the other thing is the target is an obstructed terrain, so that's -3. So now you look at -4. Well, -4, when you're firing with a strength of only 2, and since both of these units are in restricted terrain, put him under there for now. Both of them are. He's in the woods. The other one's in village. They, and also this one here, who's also in village, they don't get to combine their fire. They've got to fire independently. They're not going to be effective. Okay, they have to get a 12 to get a hit. Well, they have to get 11 or a 12. Well, when you got -4, so there's no need to even roll. So, all right. So this unit, of course, is leaving. I'm going to go to column. And when you're in general order, when you're in obstructed terrain, you've got all around front hexes. And you do have to pay for a formation change coming out of obstructed terrain, woods or village. So he's got 6, so he goes, it's kind of hard for you to see there. I pick him up this way. So he comes out of there into column. So that's 1 for the formation change, 1 for the hex. So that's 2, 3, 4, let's see, 4, 5, and then so he turned like this to 6. So he's just getting out of the way. Okay, and then this cavalry unit here, these hussars, and units can now, if they're in, infantry in column, cavalry are able to, prior to movement, they can change their facing, okay, without any cost. Infantry in line, if they change their facing more than 1 vertex, they have to, they're charged 1 movement factor. So he's going to turn around and then go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to change his facing. Back to here. And so now he's in command range, 1, 2, 3, 4. This unit here is also going to do the same thing, except when he leaves, this unit leaves, this unit that's right here, he's adjacent to this unit that's in the woods, so they're going to be able to opportunity fire. Okay, now because they're in obstructed terrain, they've got they can only fire out a strength of 2. So we've got 2, and we're going to have a -1 because of the snow. So he's going to have to roll a 12, and no. So, oops. Okay, and so they leave, and of course they don't want to go. They don't want to go into this X. They want to go here. 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to turn all the way back around. Okay. Okay, let's see here. This unit here has strength of 4 left. This unit here only has 3. Oops. This Lancers only have 6. So we're kind of giving up that village at the present, which the French have already taken control over and gained points for, army fatigue points. We've actually got two sets of Lancers here. We've got this Lancer over here. This guy only has 1 strength left, so he needs to pull out of there. But prior to doing that, I'm going to activate, well, let's see, this guy here is, what's he got? 2? Okay, I'm going to move him back here with this guy. So he's going to turn, go 1, 2, 3 right here. These guys here, what do we got? Oh, yeah, they're both in line. Oh, I would have to flip him over. Oh, he was in line. I would have had to move him to column. He would go to column. Go to column and then turn here. Let's see here. These 2 guys here, they're in line. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then of course turn like so. Shore up the that. All right, so I'm activating these Lancers, okay, to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they see that. Let's see, this unit, 1, 2, 3, 4. So both of these guys, both of these battalions are seeing that those Lancers are preparing to move, and so they are going to go to square. Now, since they're 4 hexes, there's 4 hexes. 3 hexes between them. They can automatically go to square. They don't have to roll. So they just go to square. They don't want to get pushed out of there. This guy here's not worried because he's in that village. Cavalry can't charge into obstructed terrain. And then we have this cavalry unit here as part of 1st Dragoons. And of course he's tired, so he wouldn't be able to reaction charge. But Lancers, you don't want to waste Lancers against other cavalry because of their bonus in attacking infantry. And of course you don't want to waste them against infantry in square. So you want to pit them up against infantry in line and column. So you're looking for those regiments, battalions that did not go to square, and then you want to charge them because there's a -2 because of their long lance. They're able to do a lot of damage to infantry that have not gone to square. And so this unit here down here, let me move down a little bit. Okay, that unit, or there's actually 2 battalions there. They're further than 4 hexes away, so they don't actually see these you guys. So, okay, so they move. Got my hand in the way. So they move 1, 2, and I'm trying to think, okay, go back to here. And if we're looking at line of sight from, so this is, that's could be a target for those Lancers. So if we look at the line of sight rule, which I think it's really, the line of sight is explained very well in these rules. And it's easy to, if you have a question, you just go to this and you read it. So, okay, it says if the target is on a lower level, okay, well, we're going reverse. We're not going, this is not the target. This is the target because this is the unit that has to decide whether or not they can see them and form square. Because now they're at, that's 4 hexes. So that's the target, okay? So the target is on a higher level. The line of sight is blocked if the blocking terrain is closer to the firing unit. Okay, well the blocking terrain would be the change in elevation. Okay. So, and this is still at the same elevation as this. But that's, anytime you have a change of elevation, there's a chance of blocking terrain. And so, it's not closer, it's equal distance, so it's not blocked. Okay, so, well, let's see. It's 1, 2, and 1, 2. So it's not blocked. So at this moment, these units can go to square. And of course they do because they don't want to be, charged by Lancers out in the open. So they go to square. Okay. So now I think I'm just going to stop my Lancers right there. I don't want to go too far away, so they're going to stop right there. And this unit here, I'm going to get out of the way of this artillery. So he's going to turn here, and he's actually going to go, he's actually going to turn and ride back this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then turn all the way back around like this. Okay, so we got accomplished what we wanted, which was to get those units out of the way of that artillery. And now this artillery here, if we get a red cube, is going to be able to fire at these units that are in square. So that possibly was beneficial in setting up some easy targets for the artillery. All right, so Baggy got his activation. Well, oh, what is this? Okay, that's a smaller cube. All right, let's draw another cube. Activation cube, and it's a French cube. Okay, and let's see here. Do I have someone that hasn't activated that you could activate? Like I've got the 4th Corps Cavalry. I could activate, oh, I haven't activated the 2nd Division, which would be Friant. So Friant up there, right here, hasn't activated. So I need to possibly move them up to possibly do something against the Russians there. And then the other one I haven't activated is, let's see, over here. I haven't activated the 1st Division 7th Corps, which has been on the run. Okay, that's Desjardins men right here, who are really hurting, and they need to be put in a position of probably regrouping. And that's probably, I'm gonna have to change his order and let them guys regroup back there. So I don't want to attack with them. If anything, I would just pull them back and get them prepared to change their order. But I don't want to do that at the present time. Man, that darkened the sky, didn't it? Let's do it like that. Okay, so I also have Joseph over here, and I haven't activated his regiment. It's the 4th Corps Cavalry. Well, his division. And I really probably need to attack back there, but I want to hit over here first. So I'm thinking, well, I'm probably going to be able to get some more something done, maybe some more cubes drawn for the French. So let's try to scoot that over so I can get a little closer over here. Let's go, we're going to activate over here. I'm going to move that, slide this down. I could probably put that and help hold that down right there. Or I'll tell you what, I'm going to move it back this way. All right, so we're going to activate Friant. Friant. right here. That's who we're activating with this cube. And so that's the 2nd division of 3rd Corps, which is Davout's. Here's Davout. Davout is my favorite marshal. One of my favorite overall characters or personages during the Napoleonic War. Number 1, I would rank Blucher, Gebhard Blucher, as number 1 in my book, and then of course Davout. And probably 3rd would probably have to be, you'd have to throw Wellington in there because of what he did to the French in the Peninsular War. So, all right, so let's get going here. So Friant is going to activate, and Davout had trying to think, he might have lost one engagement, or maybe it's considered a tie or something. I don't remember which one I'm talking about. Going maybe, but other than that, I don't think he lost. His nickname was the Iron Marshal, but he was despised by the other marshals. Napoleon was at fault for the way that he pitted his marshals against each other. That was not. It didn't benefit Napoleon when he did that petty stuff. Okay, so we're activating Friant, and all of his division is within command range, and he's got a little bit of everything. He's got cavalry, artillery, and infantry. So we're going to move these 2 units up, and because they're in this obstructed terrain, which is woods, they have to use the movement of the line side, and this costs 2 each. So we're moving the first unit here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've got all around facing, but we still want to face them toward a vertex. And of course, go ahead and of course move the other one up as well to the same place. Let's see, these 2 guys. I'm going to wait here because I think I'm going to be able to push this. I can push these Cossacks. Push these Cossacks away. So Cossacks, just for remembrance, may not charge enemy infantry or unlimited artillery units through their front hexes. So they are not able to reaction charge infantry. Okay. If Cossacks want to charge enemy cavalry, they must first pass a check. Okay. They roll 2 die. If the result is greater than 8, the players launch the assault. But they can always evade 1 hex if an enemy unit moves into adjacent hex. The moving unit does not need to stop its movement. So, and they can't evade into a hex adjacent to an enemy unit. So I could push my infantry up, and that's just going to force them back. Or if they stay there, which they could, okay, which I could pin them. That would be a tactic. So they've got to decide immediately whether or not they want to retreat. Now, if they stay and they wait for the assault, or if there was a simultaneous fire, they could then retreat. But I would get opportunity fire. I believe. No, because evading fire does not allow you to, does not trigger opportunity fire. So I guess either way, if I move my cavalry, I can push them back and either force them to engage or push back. But even if they're tired, they can still evade. So I think it's okay. So we're just going to try to push them back with this, with these. Let's see, what are the ones that have the horn? What are they? What are they called? Oh. Chasseurs, chasers, chasseurs, however you pronounce that. See, I've got to do it this way. So he's going to move here. This unit, of course, is going to retreat to here. What do we got back here? Oh, we got a dragoon. Okay. And then probably maybe try to push back with that. What's going to happen is if he doesn't stay, I can get in here behind this this dragoons here. Into their rear. Where they're not going to be able to reaction charge. So this unit here is going to have to, you know, which I can do that now. I can just go, okay, I went 1, yeah, it was what, right here? 1 and then 2. And so now they've got to roll to see if they can reaction charge, because I'm going to charge right here, and so this unit, the orange unit, the Cossack, has to roll, and it's got to get higher than an 8 in order to charge. And he got a 9, so he's able to do a reaction charge. So then we just change these around, take this off, and you do that immediately. So we have the Cossacks here charging, reaction charging those chasseurs. And let's see here. I guess they don't have a negative modifier when they're attacking other cavalry. Let's see here. I know that if you have heavy cavalry, but the heavy cavalry are only going to be the cuirassiers and the guard grenadier. Yeah, chasseurs à cheval. Chasseurs à cheval. And so let's see here. I know I remember. Well, I think it's in the on the chart, but let's see if I can find it. Okay, it's on the chart though. Yeah, heavy cavalry against other cavalry. So, all right, so we've got 4 against 6. That, of course, is going to be 1 to 2. So that's going to be a +2. Let's say, they're both in attack order, right? Von Paulin, yeah, he's the left wing. So yeah. Let's see if we have any. Okay. Cavalry short distance. That is short distance. So that's -2 more. So that's going to be plus 2 more. So that's going to be a +4. Okay, I rolled a 9. That's a 13. So that means the Cossacks have to take a loss. They can stay there. But of course, they become tired because they were involved in a charge, even though it's a short charge. And then this unit here, I guess, would have to go over to being tired. And could still charge, though. They can still go through with their charge of this unit. All right. So now that unit is reaction charged, and I guess that's a question is. I would consider any kind of charge is going to tire the cavalry, you know, because they were involved in fighting. And whether or not I think some games short charge of reaction charge doesn't change your readiness. That's what they call it. But the rules say if a unit or a cavalry unit is involved in a charge, it doesn't say reaction charge is charge. Even if it's a short charge, they're tired. So they're tired, which means now I can bring this other cavalry unit here in here and hit those cavalry units. Now they've exposed themselves, and I can come in there with that cavalry unit and really hit them hard. And so that's what this one's going to do. So he's facing this way, but of course I can slide side to side because I have that's a front hex. So I can go here 1, 2, and then go 3, 4. And of course he's not able to reaction charge because he's now tired. So, okay. And then this unit here, you know, I can move up these guys haven't moved. I can move up these units. Of course, I want to spread these guys out. So, top guy's going to go 1, 2, like that. And so he can evade. And he does. So, okay, I got to go down slope. Plus, I moved adjacent. So let me do that again. I didn't count that right. I don't know if I counted it right over here, but they had plenty of movement. So remember, it cost an additional movement point to move adjacent to a Russian unit. If a Russian unit or Prussian unit attempts to move adjacent to a French unit, it costs 2 extra. So, okay, we go down the slope. That's 1, 2. And then to move adjacent is 1 plus the 1 because he's adjacent to he's got to move it to the hex. So that was 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4 for moving adjacent. This unit can just slide back. And then this unit here, probably it'd be better to be in the column. But he can change his facing 1 vertex, go 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. So he can move to there. This unit here just wants to move up 1, 2 to give space for retreats. This one here is going to move to here with this artillery unit who's going to move up 1. Can't see it because my hand. Okay, he's going to move 1, 2, and then 3, 4 to unlimber. So cost artillery 2 to change their formation. So we want to put the artillery on top. Like so, and then we put Friant. We'll put him actually right there. Okay. So now let's focus on the charges that we have. Well, I'm trying to, there we go, right there. Sometimes I have a hard time closing in on my phone. So we've got this charge here. Now I've got to plug my phone in because it's telling me that I'm almost out of juice. All right, so let's go with this one first. So I've got Chasseurs Cheval, okay, against these Cossacks, and the Cossacks can't evade. They don't have to stay there. Even though they're tired, and I think they will. I'm going to have them retreat. They can evade. So they're going to move to here, okay, which would allow this unit to continue to move. He was over here and he shifted over 1, 2, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So he would still have like 3 movements left. Now if he moves into here, of course you've got those dragoons sitting there. So I think they're just going to stay right there. We're going to let this other play out. All right, so let's focus on the other charge, which is getting charged in their rear. So we've got 6 against 9, which is going to end up being 1 to 2 because you round up. In the assault, you round up. So 0.5 or higher, not just 0.5, doesn't get rounded down. So that's going to be a +2. There's not eliteness on the defending unit is not elite. He is Russian, so that's another +1. So now we're at +3. So on my tally stick, I move to 3. Okay. Charge through the rear is -2. Let's see. The assaulting unit, it's not short distance. He is fatigued. Now you could argue, well, it's short distance because he had to fight that other fight. Well, that's okay. He's fatigued, so that's +2. So now we're back to +3. So that's where we're at. And the big difference is, okay, this is they're outnumbered. Okay, the attackers are. So you may say, well, they're attacking their rear. Why is it not up? Well, they're outnumbered. And they're tired now because they had that other fight. So, you know, and the cuirassiers, but I guess because they're not the attacker, they don't get the benefit. The assaulting. If they were the assaulting was the heavy cavalry, then it'd be different because they get to use that momentum. The momentum of the weight. You know, they had usually they would have the bigger horse. Okay. And of course they've got the armor, but the bigger horse is you know, a factor. Besides having the armor too, you know, they had the breastplate armor. They covered their front and back. Oh, but I rolled a 3. Okay, so the Russians rolled a 3. We add 3. That's 6. That is not. That is not good for the Russians. The Russians rolled a 3, okay, because they're the ones that had to roll to hold because they're being charged. So they're going to take a loss, and they're going to have to retreat, and they retreat. Half their movement rounded with any fractions rounded down. So, and it's going to cause this unit here to have to move. Okay, so okay, so they move to here. And then to keep from moving into that hex there, they're going to push this guy to the side. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So they get pushed back over to there, like that. And then this guy can move in here and change his facing. And he's already tired. So, he goes to there. All right. Now I just got to pull back like so. All right. That activation is over. And we're ready to draw another cube from the cup. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so that's going to be the second French cube drawn in a row. And so I could activate them again, or of course I cannot activate third. Let's see, well, no, third division still has one activation left. Let's see, who else hadn't activated? Okay, of course, 1st Division of 7th Corps I don't want to activate to attack, but I could pull them back. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I need to pull Desjardins' forces back. Get them somewhere where they can go to regroup or so forth. So I'm going to activate Desjardins. Just because he has attack orders doesn't mean that I have to move in there to attack. He's pulling back. So let's see here. This guy's going to pull back 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, he'd have to turn around. Turn around. I go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to turn back. And then this unit here that he's with, going to basically do the same thing. He's going to turn around and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this unit here is going to turn. Oh, he's going to change the formation first. So that's 1. He turns 2, 3, because he's coming down the slope. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and turns right here. This one here changes formation. Turns around. So that's 1 to change formation. 2, 3, 4, going down the slope. 4, 5. And then 5, 6, it'll just turn around. And this guy here will step out. Right there. And they're done. I just wanted to get them pulled back. Wait a minute, let's see. Is any, no, that's 2nd Division. 2nd Division. I think he's lost like 1, 2, 3, 4 battalions. He's been hit pretty hard. All right, next cube. All right, so that's the 3rd French cube, and I'm going to have let's see here. Okay. I think I'm going to activate could activate Moran. 1st Division of 3rd Corps. I could activate him. They've only been activated once. Also, I've got Delay. His 2nd Division hasn't been activated. I don't want to really activate, if we go over here, really, when you're thinking about assaults or charges, the defender is really the one that has the bigger chance of losing. And so you want to be on the attacking end of that. So unless you just, you know, there's too much weighing against you. So this is what you run into. You've got, you know, we've got to have either a red or a green cube pulled, and then it's over. Okay, so there's only going to be one more activation. So there's a possibility it could be the red. And if it is, I want to be in a position where I can fire all available artillery units at any target. So this is where I need to activate. I need to activate right here. I've had 2 activations for the 3rd Division over here, Udine, and I've got 2 artillery units that I need to unlimber so that I can fire on any potential targets. So that's what I want to do. And of course I don't want to okay, so I'm going to unlimber this unit. Okay, I don't want to move these up and instigate a reaction charge. Plus there's Kaminsky's troops not too far away. So and then I want to unlimber this unit here, this artillery. So and remember, this is their 3rd activation, so they have 2 less movement factors. So I'm not able to move, see these only have a 4. So I'm not able to move them up or over or anything. All I can do is unlimber them, because right now they only have a movement of 2, and it takes 2 to unlimber. And that's what I do for both of those. Now this unit here, he's got 2 also, so all he can do is like move up right there. He's not able to really do anything else. But I can alter, like change my facing. So I change like this so that I can target this unit. if need be. Now, at the beginning of a fire, simultaneous fire segment, you can change your facing. So that's what we're looking at here. But with snow, we've only got a range of 4, and that's all. That's pretty much all I want to do here. That unison column. So yeah, these guys are not able to slide side to side because they're in line. They would have to turn. Okay, that's turn. Okay, move, and then turn back, which they could do. But then he's going to be in the way of. But here, I could like turn, move over, turn, move over, turn, you know, to open up that. I could leave that guy facing this way. Which that would allow, that really opens up that artillery unit, you know, for a possible charge by that some dragoon. Of course, you know, but they would survive. They would survive the fire, and then they would take those guns. So, you know, that wouldn't. I'm just showing you what you could do. This guy's going to turn like this, though. He's going to turn. Okay. So I don't want to open up that artillery. He can still fire units over here. So, you know, artillery is powerful, but you know, I can't shoot all the horses down. You know, there's not enough cannonballs for every. Even if you're firing, say, grape shot, you can get a whole bunch of them. You know, you can make them pay, but artillery alone, they're going to get overrun, and you're going to lose those guns. Now, were there times in battles where it was reported that guns were taken by cavalry and then retaken by infantry? Yes. But here, no. Sometimes, you know, they could get down and spike the guns, you know. The cavalry could get down, spike the guns, run off. So, cavalry, it's a very powerful arm during this time period. And if you left artillery alone against cavalry, the cavalry's going to win. One thing is they can ride around and get them in the flank, and of course then they can't, you know, they can't keep turning their guns. Guns don't turn that easy. They don't pivot very, very smoothly. You know, you've got to pick up the back end and then muscle it around. You know, you don't keep your horses connected, because when those guns fire, they're gonna roll back. So, and the other thing is, if you have infantry out in the open and you don't get into square, you're gonna lose infantry, and those infantry are gonna end up retreating, and then they could be, you know, pursued in future activations. So, you know, some people may say, well, where's the pursuit, you know, of retreating infantry? You got another activation. That's what it's for. You can use that other activation to, you know, activate those cavalry again. Now they're going to be tired, but so their movement's going to be limited, and also their attack strength's going to be, you know, not as efficient. Their attack, but they're still going to be able to pursue and possibly do some more damage. So there's not a need for a pursuit rule. It's built in. There's a lot built into this system. That's what makes it so easy and smooth to play. You don't have all of that, you know, little bitty chrome that some of these other games have that slow things down. All right, so we've got this went to third division of Third Corps. Okay, and that cube, that would be the fourth blue cube drawn, and so I can't. That one actually would go back, but instead of putting it back in and drawing again, we're gonna draw one of these cubes, and that'll be it. There'll be 2 cubes remaining. Oh, it's the red cube. And so if we look in here, there's 2 cubes remaining. Those will not be drawn. So the turn will end with the simultaneous fire combat. All right, and so I'm gonna move to this north end of the battle because that's where, excuse me, that's where I usually start, okay? And the French, because they have the initiative, they get to choose their first fire. And you know, I think of course we could fire in here, but it's not going to matter really, so I guess I can just fire with this unit here. But he's got 2 targets, so he's got to fire at both this unit and this unit. And each time infantry has multiple targets, then they have to fire at both. So okay, he's in line, and he's got at least 4 strength points, so he's firing 2 at each one of those targets. So we'll go with the orange one first. There's going to be a -1 for snow, and he doesn't get the defensive fire. This is considered offensive fire, so it's going to be a -1. The target is in line, so it's a -1. I rolled a 10, and I have to have an 11. So now we go to the red target. Ooh, I rolled an 11. That's what I needed. So that unit here will take a loss. Will be the top one. Of course, you would apply these at the end, so they have no effect until fire is completed. So, and of course, you put the smoke marker on, and then it's going to be the Russian turn, and the Russians want to start with this artillery right here that is going to have this square in its sights. So there's just that one artillery. Okay, so the range is 2, so that's going to be ×2, so the strength of 2 × 2 is 4. And we've got snow -1. Artillery versus square is +4. So we're going to have a +3. Six, 7 becomes +3 is a 10. So that's going to be a hit. Okay. So, shoot. Where'd the square marker go? Oh, right there. All right, so then we put a smoke marker there. Okay, and then we come back over here to this artillery unit, and I think last hour, or last fire phase, not last hour, last fire phase, I could have fired here. If we look at the if we look at the rules, okay, for line of sight, if the target is on a higher level, the line of sight is blocked if the blocking feature is closer to the firing unit. So the blocking terrain would be the slope. So yes, it's blocked. So I was right originally. He can't fire there. Now if he was here, you know, it'd be different. He'd be adjacent for one thing. Okay, I do have other fire though, which is going to be right here. So I've got those guns, and let's see, I think there's only one. No, there's two. Okay, so we got two sets of batteries there. And so that's 4 times, let's see, 1, 2, 3 times 2 is going to be 8 firing against these battalions in column. So strength of 8. Snow is -1. Let's see, artillery versus infantry in column is +2, so it's going to be a +1. +1. Let's see, 4, 5. That's not enough. Yeah. Mr. Opportunity to put a herd on. That's, yeah, was 8. That's not enough. Okay. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's see if we have, yeah, these guns here are going to be ineffective. They don't have anybody to fire at now because this unit here is behind this slope, or down the slope. But we do have this unit here that is under this smoke marker. It's got both of these units can fire. He's got 3, 4 underneath. So, okay, let's go with the this unit here first. He's in line. So 4 times 2 is 8. Strength of 8. The target's in line, so no benefit there. So it's just going to be a plus or -1. -1 for the snow. 7. -1 is a 6 with a strength of 8. Nope, you've got to have at least an 8. Got to have at least an 8. Okay, and then we fire with the other unit in the line. Right there. It's going to be the same thing. A -1. Because, you see, the target is in line. Ooh, 11. -1 is a 10. That's going to be a hit. It's going to be just 1, but it's still a hit. So I like the idea of the smoke markers. Now, the smoke markers have a 1 on one side and a 2 on the other. So I guess future games, the maybe the smoke will linger for some purpose or other. So it'll be interesting to see. All right, let's scan around here and see who else will be able to fire. So we pull back. We don't have any more artillery there on either side. Okay, right here. Actually, we're looking for French to fire, and of course we've got this unit can fire at these guys in the square. Okay, so remove this. So, all right. So column, the most they can fire out of there is strength of 2. Okay, they've got 5 in there. So we've got smoke -1. Infantry versus infantry in square is +1. So it's even. And so strength of 4. No. Yep, no. It's just a strength of 2. I rolled a 6, that's not high enough. Okay, so. And of course the square can fire back, so I'll go ahead and do that. He's in column. Infantry versus infantry in column is a +1. So -1 for snow is 0 modifiers. 7 is not enough. So if you're in square, you're going to be like firing it with column. You just don't have enough firepower coming all from one side. You know, square is 4-sided, so you just don't have enough strength, fire strength. All right, let's go over here, even though it is the French turn to fire, but I'm going to fire with this unit here. It's going to fire right here at this unit in line. Range is 1, 2, 3, and we've got that's 8. Okay, range of 3 is going to multiply by 2, so that's going to be 16. He's heavy, so that's +1. Snow is -1. So it's just going to be 0 on 16. Oh, 16, and I rolled a 5. That's still a hit. So right there. Okay. This unit here can't fire there because he'd be firing right through this other battery. Oh, that's not. It is part of the center artillery reserve, though. See, one of the rules with the Russian artillery units, they must end up adjacent to one of the other units in their division. So you can't like scatter them out. They've got to stay together. So, and since these are part of that, I don't have to have their artillery all right there together. As long as, you know, all of the units, so I could have these 2 units over here, or 2 units over here somewhere, but they all have to be, they have to end each turn adjacent to another one of their part of their division. So let's see. Now this unit here, these 2 batteries could fire there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't have anybody here to fire at. So basically the only target they have is going to be that hex right there, this one. So they're firing at a range of 4. So it's going to be, they're 8. 8 times 1 is 8. And they're heavy, so that's +1. Snow is -1. 6 is not going to be enough. So snowflakes got in my eyes. No, I'm firing these Russian units, a bunch of them over and over, but I don't have any other French units to fire in this section of the battlefield, so that's why I'm doing it. So I don't have to zip back and forth, you know. Just go ahead and, you know, you're supposed to alternate, but why alternate? I think he's too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's too far away. So he doesn't have anybody to fire at. This unit is not unlimbered, neither are those guys. Okay, so now we would go to, I don't have anybody here that could fire all the way back over here so far. So, I do have this square who could fire. First off, he's going to fire at Milhad, and then one other unit or target. Let's go with this one. So they've got to fire at multiple targets. So infantry and square only have a strength of 2 that they can use, and I know I've got at least 2 strength. That guy's got 6, so yeah. So -1 for snow, and so they're firing with a strength of 1. So even, let's see, because of the snow, if I roll a 12, it's still going to be a miss. So they're not going to be able to hit anything. So we can skip them. Don't need to even roll any dice there. So we move on around. This unit, I had moved it to fire on the Russian units that were here in square, but it actually forced them to retreat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's out of range of this unit, and if we go on further along, well, we've got to look at the Russian units here of that. Put this down. Can fire. So right here, we don't have anybody, any infantry adjacent. However, I do have. The Russians have that unit there. Nobody within range. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. No one within range. 3, 4. Now, could he fire here at this? So let's look at our line of sight rules. If the target is on a lower level, the line of sight is blocked if the blocking terrain is closer to the target. So, what's the blocking terrain? There. That's slope hexide. And it's 1, 2 hexes away from the firing unit, and only 1 hex because it's on this side of the hex, so it's closer to the target. So the line of sight is blocked. So can't fire there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't fire there. So those artillery units are not going to fire on anybody this activation. And let's see here. We do have Moran's artillery have a target. So these guns can fire right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can fire at those Cossacks. So range is 1, 2, 3. So that's 2 times 2 is 4. -1 for the snow. 6 becomes 5. It's going to be a miss. So, and and then here we have that infantry in line. However, Cossacks can evade, and so they are going to drop back like that. So they evade. All right, and then we move along further here, and we've got that artillery battery. Okay, firing at those Cossacks. 2, 3, 4. That's a range of 4. There's 2 guns, 2 strength points there, which would be about 6 guns, I guess. So they have a strength of 2 and -1 for the snow. 7 -1 is not enough, but I would put a smoke marker on them, and then we would continue. We've got on over to there. Okay. All right, so we've got guns there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that's going to be a strength of 2. It's going to be -1. So they're going to have to get I think a 12. 5 is not enough. I don't really need to put smoke markers on there because I'm fixing to be finished. There's not any artillery over here for the Russians that are even if. So, okay, now this unit here, that's 2 more strength points, firing at the same target, but it's a range of 3, so that's 2 times 2 is 4. -1. 7, 6 is not enough. You're gonna have to have like an 8, I think. A 9. So, and let's go ahead and put a smoke marker. And then we move to the last battery that, yeah, the last battery. Oh, it should be flipped over. All right, so I activated. He just, I don't know, I guess when I was moving stuff around. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 2 times 2 is 4. We got a -1. 7 becomes 6. Nope. All right, so that ends that hour. So the 11th hour is over. Let me pull back here. And let me move some of this stuff off of here. The last two cubes, activation cubes, are not used. They're lost. And so this is the situation we're in at the present time. We're going to have the preparation time, which will be removing the smoke markers, turning over tired cavalry back to fresh, and then, you know, rolling for weather, doing the orders, paying for the order cost, determining who has initiative, and determining how many activation cubes each side gets. And all of that I'll take care of course, off camera. And if you want to see, you know, how that works, look at video 3. I spent that whole video is just dealing with preparation. And of course, preparation goes a lot faster with 2 people if you're playing face-to-face than it does when you're playing alone, because you're thinking on, you know, both sides. But I've got to really think hard about where I've been giving divisions orders that they don't even use. And so if we take a look for the French, I've got 1st Dragoons didn't do anything, and they've got an attack order. So that was 2 wasted army fatigues. And then here, the 4th Corps Cavalry, they didn't do anything. So that's 4 cubes. And then if you look, multiple attack orders only activated once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a good use of my fatigue points? No, it's not. And the Russians are even worse. You know, I've got to really limit the number of attack orders, or any orders that take away fatigue points, army fatigue points for the Russians. It's just, they had 7 activations, okay, and I've got 1 there, okay, and we look across, 2, let's see, 2, 3, okay, so there's 3 orders, attack orders, that they had no activations. That's 6 army cubes, army fatigue points. That's 6 cubes that the Russians lost, and they didn't even use those orders. And there's 3 attack orders that only activated once. So why am I giving so many orders when I don't have enough activation cubes? That's not being a very good army commander. You know, I've got to do a better job as Napoleon and as Bennigsen. You know, I'm sending out these attack orders, and they're not getting activated. Well, one is because the Russians didn't have the command system. Napoleon's system, well, it was his chief of staff who was not available because he was dead. He had jumped off of, or, you know, it's believed that he had committed suicide, jumped off of a balcony and landed on his head. And he was instrumental in so many of Napoleon's victories because of the way that he handled the orders. he would send out multiple copies of the orders so that if, you know, one messenger went and got lost, then one of the others would get through. So he sent multiple messengers with the same order. And he was very organized, and he understood what when Napoleon gave an order, he understood how to put that in writing so that the general that was receiving it would be able to understand it. You know, when he gets to 1815, he doesn't have his chief of staff, and his name is just it's a blank. I don't. I have a complete blank here. But you know, considering, you know, when you're dealing with chief of staffs, he was probably, you would have to rank him up there of all time. He'd have to be in the top, at least the top 5, probably the top 3 as chief of staffs. He might even be number 1. And now Blucher had a good chief of staff. I think it's pronounced Gneisenau. Gneisenau, something like that. He kind of was not, you know, Blucher was rash and quick to attack. You know, he needed Gneisenau. He needed him to be his opposite. So, although after being defeated at Lanay, Gneisenau wanted Blucher just to abandon Wellington, because he said that Wellington didn't come to their aid. Why should they go to his? Although Wellington was in a dogfight against Ney, he couldn't have come. He didn't have he didn't have the troops to spare. So, but Blucher was insistent. No, we're going to make our way to support Wellington. I gave my word. I'm going to do it. Gneisenau was like, no, we just need to retreat away. You know, that's a whole other battle, different even years after this. So I've got to do a better job of not, you know, giving out all these attack orders, which are wasting these fatigue points, which I'm going to need in the latter hours of this day. And you know, you really have to think. There's a lot of thinking of the orders that you're going to give, and you have to be real tight, conservative on the spending of your army fatigue points through your orders, which is a whole nother facet in this game that you don't see in other games. This right here stands out. This is a huge plus, I guess, that this game has over so many other Napoleonic games, is this order system. The gamers, people, oh man, they just really was hard on the gamers' Napoleonic brigade system because of the rules, the orders, and how the orders were so could fail. The orders could fail so easily, and then you're back to trying to send new orders and so forth. Well, with this system, you're not having to worry about that, but you're having to worry about being able to change the order. You know, when you've got a division attacking, and they don't have the manpower to keep attacking, you still have them with that order. You're losing fatigue points each hour for something that they're not able to do, or you don't have enough activations to do that. So that alone, this alone makes this system special. And the way that it's handled so easily, and it plays such a huge part in specifically any battle at this time, and you're not able to just keep attacking at the same intensity over and over and over because of the limitations on the different activations. So if we look here at this out here, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so with each activation after the first, your movement is reduced. Your ability to move your units is reduced, which is limiting the ability of your units to move adjacent to be able to assault. I know you've already seen in my play that there were opportunities where I'm trying to take advantage of an a weakness in one side or the other, and I'm not able to move adjacent because I don't have the movement potential. Plus, the fact that it costs extra to move adjacent, and you have to factor in that, these soldiers didn't want to get that close. Well, the closer you get, the higher chance that you're going to get hit, and also the other side would have these pointy, sharp things that you didn't want to, get too close to. And of course, you sure didn't want to get to be in front of guns, artillery pieces that are firing these big, huge, solid metal objects at you. Or if the grape shot, that stuff's devastating. But if you look at any document or documentary, that's what I'm trying to say, documentary on Napoleonic warfare, and you're able to look at some of the, whether it be the skeletons that have been found, or even like a cuirassier's armor, breastplate, of a hole. There's a hole that goes all the way through it. Okay, well, that individual died. You cannot sustain a solid shot going through your body. Lons at Aspen Essling, he's just taking a break, laying down. He's got his legs crossed, and I don't know if it was a 3-pound, 6-pound. Anyways, a cannonball comes bouncing along and hits him in the knees, and he has to have one leg amputated, and the other one's damaged too. But and he eventually dies. So these soldiers did not want to get close to each other, and so it took discipline. And the French had a reputation for being a very efficient army, and so these other troops were hesitant about getting close to them, and so that's why you have a higher movement requirement to get close to the French. So things are looking interesting to both sides. Both sides look like they have opportunities to improve their position on the battlefield, and also to cause some serious problems for the other side. Of course, we've got Davout working to really clamp down and put the Russians over here in a vice with his 3 divisions. He doesn't have a reserve. He's decided just to press hard with all 3 of his divisions. And the Russians, of course, have pushed hard in the center here. They've dealt Desjardins' division a serious blow, and they're in need of regrouping. And more than likely, Napoleon is going to have to think about possibly activating the Guard earlier than he would like. Of course, he still has a couple of regiments, well, divisions of cavalry, Desharpaux and Grouchy, are still not been activated. They're all fresh. And over here on the French left, things could get dicey with Somnoff up here approaching to support Tukov, and Korf's attempt to really push hard. And the other thing is, okay, next turn will be 12, the 12 o'clock or noon turn, and that means that we're going to be having Lestock, the Prussians, coming in up here north of Voltov, where our tally stick is up here. They're going to be coming in right here, and so that's going to give some support for the Russians' push here on Napoleon's left. So, but of course they won't be arriving next turn. I believe it's the 1 o'clock turn. So, all right, come on back to see. This was video 12. Don't forget to go check out Sound of Drums at soundoфdrumsgames.com. Go check out, see what they got, and also take a look over at chessix.com if you need some dice, game accessories, and also, hey, they've got some games. So if you're a Napoleonic gamer, then you know this is a game that you need. It's got a lot of interesting mechanics, and it's very easy to play. You know, the Chrome is integrated into the rules and the system. The counters are easy to distinguish between the 3 arms. Movement is easy. The facing, you've got the facing, you've got the 3 different arms, you've got charges, reaction charges, leaders, orders, command, you got all of that. Squares, artillery, everything that you would expect in a tactical Napoleonic game. And the added bonus is, of course, this command system with the fatigue points, the cubes, and the relative ease of all of that made by the designer in this cube system and these charts that you use. So, and of course, hey, you get 2 tally sticks. I don't think I've ever had a tally stick, especially in a Napoleonic game. I don't know that I have. This will be the first, but it's kind of neat to use. So, but come on back and see what happens in the next hour. And thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.